Welcome back to Old War Stories with Uncle Jay. Here's another story from Tiny Middle back in the day. Time frame really doesn't matter. I was in sales at the time, so it was toward the earlier part of my stint there. And people would come in looking for memory for their computer. Everybody would come in looking for, I want to upgrade my computer. I want to get more memory. I want to get more memory. Okay, sure, no problem. Well, depending on the system, it could be any number of different types of memory. And you also had to mind what the motherboard would support as far as how big of a chip you could get and what the maximum allowable memory is. And also you'd need to know what's in there as well. So people would come in and they say, I want to upgrade my memory. Okay, sure, no problem. What kind of computer do you have? It's a Dell. Okay, sure. What model? Dementia? Dementia. This is what they would say to me, because nobody fucking knows. They would really say dementia instead of dimension. I said, okay, that narrowed it down to about 1,000 different models. What's the actual model number? I told you, it's a Dell Dementia. What else do you need to know? I said, listen, what kind of car do you have? What does this have to do with it? I said, answer my question. I said, listen, if I needed an air filter, I go into the auto parts store and I see I need an air filter. Sure, what kind of car? It's a Toyota. Toyota what? Camry? Okay. What's the next thing they're going to ask? What year is it? I said, that's why I need it. With the car, it's year, make, and model. And with the computer, it's brand, and then series or line, and then the model. So they would get frustrated at this point. Now, one of two things would happen. Sometimes they'd realize, shit, this guy actually outsmarted me, and I didn't know I was going to need this. He says, I don't know what model it is. I said, okay, is there maybe somebody home that you could call? Yeah, my daughter's there. Okay, great. And I would even offer the store phone, which we were allowed to do if they wanted to. But really, at this point, everybody had their own cell phone, and nobody could remember their own fucking phone number or their daughter's cell or whatever it was. So they would just go, call Sharon. And now they're talking to Sharon, and Sharon says, oh, it's an 8400. Okay, now we got some information. So now I roll up the database here. Dell, Dementia, 8400. Okay, you can take SD RAM up to 1 gigabyte. Your machine has 4 slots, and that means you can put a 256 megabyte chip. This is back in the day, of course, in each slot. Nowadays, it's gigabytes upon gigabytes upon gigabytes of RAM. I got 16 gigabytes. I want to get 32. I want to get 64. I want to get all this. I want to get that. And it just goes on. But sometimes Sharon would come to the rescue and give the model number, and then that's it. Another time, actually, there were 3 scenarios. So that was one. The second one is, I'd say, okay, what model? And they say, I don't know. I got it in the car. I'll be right back. Really? Really? I don't understand. Like, is this how this would really go? You have your trusty computer over here. And generally these were desktops back in the day, because laptops weren't as prevalent. They were, but not as prevalent. So anyways, they'd go out to their car and they'd get their computer and they'd put it in a cart, a wagon, and they'd bring it in, and I'd look at it and I'd look it up and get them the right memory. Well, I often thought about why they would bring the computer. Because if you're going to bring the computer but not bring it in the store, like, do they treat this thing like a kid? Where, okay, Mr. Computer, we're going to upgrade your memory today. All right, now this isn't going to hurt any, so let me just power you off. And now I'm just going to disconnect your cables. It should be actually a relief, you know, like when you take your clothes off and relax at night kind of thing. You know, get into something more comfortable type thing. Oh, you know, it'll be a lot more comfortable and that, and then brings him out to the car, puts him in the back seat. Oh, hang on, Mr. Computer, let me get your seatbelt on, you know, strap him in, and then he's driving to the store, whatever. You okay, Mr. Computer? Oh, I'm doing fine, I'm doing fine. Could you fucking imagine this shit? Because this is the kind of thing I would think up. Why else would they bring the fucking thing? Because oftentimes they would get it and they say, how do I put it in? It's sort of just the clips come out and you push it down till they snap back up, and that's it. And the chip only fits one way. And I'm getting you the right stuff that should work, so you'll plug it in and it'll come up, it'll see the new memory, and you upgraded your computer. That's it. So it's like, why the fuck would they even bring it? But then there was the last scenario where you get a belligerent Italian. Oh, we can't be racist here. Okay. Would you rather I say... No, can't get into that one. Don't want a George Floyd incident. Oops. I think I just pushed the envelope a little too far. But people would come in and they would start being assholes. And honestly, it didn't matter what race they were. It was all across the board. They could be anyone. So they would come in and I'd say, what kind of computer? It's a Dell. Okay. What kind? Dementia. Here we go again, right? And then I do the car air filter year, make, and model. And I explain that to the customer. And the customer would say, what is all this bullshit you're giving me? I just want to upgrade my memory. I said, sir, with all due respect, okay, I have a no bullshit policy. And I would just say this to the customer. I didn't say BS or try to bowdlerize what I was saying. I would just say it flat the fuck out. Okay? Sir, with all due respect, I have a no bullshit policy. Okay? That means I don't accept bullshit from anybody. But in return, I won't give you any bullshit as well. As God is my witness, some guy, some other customer in the next aisle overheard this and popped his head up over the aisle and said, that's a good policy to have. So, of course, the customer was humiliated at that point and called Sharon to get the model number or whatever it was. But man, oh man, oh man. And that was just for that, you know. God forbid they needed anything else. Or I want to get a faster processor. I'm like, you should work on this one before you work on your computer, let me tell you. Let me tell you. But yeah, I would treat customers with the utmost in respect. But then, by the same token, if they crossed that line and started getting fucking belligerent, forget it. Forget it. I would have... Now, you may have noticed that in my videos, I have a way of wording things. And I have a way of taking a sensitive issue and, as the phrase goes, pushing the envelope. Okay? And I would push, if you think of an envelope on a table, where you start pushing it, and then somewhere around the middle point, a little past the middle, it'll tip and fall off onto the floor. I can push that envelope that far that it's fucking teeter-tottering right on the edge of the fucking table and get away with it. And I would do this time and time and time again with customers at Tiny Middle. So anyway, that was just a little short story on that one. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, and take care. There will be more of these little anecdotes in the future. Bye-bye.